Yes. Okay, so how do we, what's the thing? How do we get rid of the square root of 6 multiplied by what? I'm going to get my life together. Give me a second. There it is. You multiply just the bottom by square root of 6? Good. What you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. Alright, now why do we want to do this? What cancels? It turns into square root of what? 36. Good. And the top turns into square root of what? Good. So the reason that we do this is because square root of 36 is what? Good. So the radical goes away. Can we do anything with this 12? Why can't we divide 12 by 6 and get 2?
Because
It's not 12. Good. This is square root of 12, which is like a decimal, right? So anytime something's underneath the radical, we can't divide it. But y'all said break it up into what? Very good. So what would the top become? Okay. Can we simplify? Yes, the outsides we can, right? We have 2 and 6. What can go into 2 and 6? Yes. So 1 up top, right? So 1 square root of 3. On bottom we'd have. Very good. Questions about that one? Cool. Alright, next one. This one is the same thing. All of it's underneath the radical, but I want y'all to know this is the same thing as n cubed over square root of 8. We have 2 options right here. We could simplify the top and bottom, like because 8's not a perfect square, but 4 and 2 go into it, right? We could simplify or rationalize first. Which one do y'all want to do? Okay, let's see if it makes it any easier for us, okay? What can I break n cubed up into? Squared times n, good. And 8? 4 and 2. So up top, if I take the square root of n squared, I'll have, and what underneath? And on bottom? Alright. There's still a radical underneath. What's the radical we need to get rid of? Yes. So what do we multiply the top and bottom by? 2 square root of 2 or just root 2? Good, because that's the only problem, right? The 2's okay. Just the root 2 we have to get rid of. Alright, on top, what can I multiply this 2 by? Just what's underneath the radical, right? So tell me what it's going to look like. N square root of what? Good. We can only multiply what's underneath the radicals together. I know, I don't know what's the problem. It did?
Yeah.
I'll have to email somebody about it. Sorry. Alright, these two, when I multiply them, square root of 2 times square root of 2. Good, so we have 2 square root of 4. Which is 2 times 2 would be what? Good. And on top? N square root of 2n. Any questions? Alright. Let's look at this next one. Y'all tell me what you would do first. What now? So, simplify? Okay. Are you guessing? How could I simplify square root of 32? Very good. And what could what's the square root of t to the 4th? Good. This is a perfect square, right? Because 4 is divisible by what? Good. So what's on top? On bottom? Very good. Because there's no radical underneath. Y'all feel good about these? Yes? Don't lie to me now. Then try just 1 and 3 on your own. under guided practice, just 1 and 3. Don't try to do number 2 because you don't know how to yet. Just 1 and 3. Y'all need more time? Okay. I'll give you another minute.
What happens when you do that is so this one, you have 25 on the square 2, right? So it would just be 2.
I see a lot of y'all like breaking this up and simplifying first, and that's fine, you'll get the same answer. But the only time that, and this is just me, maybe I just think it's easier, the only time that I break these up is like on this one when I know that if I break up t to the 4th, it's going to cancel out the root. Other than that, I would just stick to multiplying. What's the problem here? This one, right? So that's when I need to multiply the top and bottom by. And if y'all break it up, that's fine. It just might be harder. Okay? This is what I do. You don't have to change yours. You'll get the same thing. So on top, if I multiply these two together, I would get square root of what? A to the 9th, B to the 5th. What would happen on bottom? So I just get... What cancels here? Y'all are saying the whole thing cancels. Just the what cancels? The radical. So what's left on bottom? Yes. And then I just break this up. So I can break A to the 9th up into A to the 8th and A. And I can break this one up into B to the and B. And then when I take the square root of everything I can, square root of A to the 8th, Very good. Square root of b to the fourth. Good. Square root of what? All over. Now what can I simplify? Nothing with my radical. So what can I simplify? The b's, right? What do I do with exponents when I subtract? Or when I divide? I subtract them. So what's 2 minus 5? Negative 3. So the 3 will go on what? So I'll have a to the fourth square root of ab all over b cubed. Very good. Did y'all get the same thing but did it the other way? No? Okay, let me do it the other way then. And I'm sorry, I'm about to turn these off because they're just driving me crazy. Then let's look at how y'all did it. Ignore all this. Okay. What was it? Square root of 8 to the 9th over b square root of b to 5? How many simplified first? Okay, then I need to go over it. Alright, this breaks up into what? This. So up top. And square root of. Everybody got that? Okay, the problem is the what? This one, right? So that's what you need to multiply the top and bottom by. Up top, I'd have a to the fourth square root of ab, right? On bottom, these cancel, just b. So it's b squared. That's where I got that from, times b. So that's the same thing we got. Which way do y'all like better? The way I did? Okay. Then let's do that with the next one. Alright. I multiply the top and bottom by what? Square root of 8. On top I would get square root of 40x. On bottom? Good. Or square root of 64. I heard that. Square root of 64 is what though? Cool. Alright. I can take a what out of 40? 4 and what? Very good. So square root of 4? So I'd have over, then I can simplify what? 2 and 8. So here I would get 1 on bottom. Very good. Last one we're going to look at, our last ones are 4 and 2. What's different about 4 and 2? The root that is not what? Square root. Alright, stay with me. My pre-AP kids had trouble with this for some reason. First, let's split it up. This is the same thing as the 4th root of 6 over the 4th root of 5x. What's your first thought? How to get rid of the radical on bottom?
The same thing we did before?
Yes. But let me tell you why this is not going to work, okay? Don't write this down. I'm going to write it in pencil so I can erase it. If I were to multiply the top and bottom by the 4th root of 5x, here I would get 25, right? 5 times 5 is 25. Is 25 a 4th root? Like, can we take the 4th root of 25? No. So the 4th root would stay underneath. It wouldn't do anything. Does everybody see that? Okay. Let me go back. So what we're going to have to do is we still have to multiply by the 4th root. Otherwise we couldn't multiply. But it's going to be 5 to the 3rd power, x to the 3rd power. So it's 1 less than the root. 5 to the 3rd power, x to the 3rd power. And here's why. We'll worry about the top in a minute, but let's focus on the bottom. Let's look at our x's first, okay? What is x times x cubed? Good. Now I don't want the actual number. What is 5 to the 1st times 5 to the 3rd? 5 to the 4th, right? You still add the exponents. 5 to the 4th. The reason I leave it like that is because the 4th root of anything raised to the 4th, I'll divide the exponents, so I'll just have what? Good, 5x on bottom. Does everybody see that? The fourth root of x to the fourth, you do what with the exponents? Divide them. Same thing, cancel, yeah. And now on top, we can actually figure out what this is going to be. What is 5 cubed? Quick.
125.
Yes. What's 125 times 6? Somebody type it in. 125 times 6.
750.
750 x to the what? Third, right up top. And you can leave it like that. I'm not going to make you find fourth roots that go into anything higher than 300. And that's it. There's no radical left on the bottom. So this next one we're going to do together as well. Any questions about this one before I move on? Which part? This part? Okay. The reason we have to multiply it by 5 cubed is so that we have a fourth root underneath the radical. If I just did like 5 times 5, I get 25. And the fourth root of 25, that doesn't exist. So anytime there's not a square, you just do one less than the root. So like for this one, let me break this up. Fifth root of 3 times fifth root of 4y. I'm going to have to multiply the top and bottom. Go ahead, Darrell, I'm sorry. On what part?
I got where you had did the sign.
Cubed and x cubed?
But I don't get how you got 750.
Gotcha. I just multiplied this up here. So like 5 cubed is actually 125 times 6 gave me 750. And then the x cubed, I brought it down. 5 cubed right here. You keep the same terms. The 3 comes from one less than this. So on this one, I have to multiply the top and bottom by the fifth root of what? 4 to the fourth and y to the, very good, one less. Alright, what is going to be on the bottom? 4y, just 4y, very good. All the exponents cancel and you just get 4y. On top, go ahead and figure out what 4 to the fourth power is. 256. Now multiply that by 3. 716, and then y to the what power up here?
768.
768. 216 times 3? 256 times 3 would be what? Okay. Y to the fourth. Very good. So the plan tomorrow, I'm going to leave that there for a second, is to finish the back side of your notes, dividing radicals, then we'll take a checkpoint. Remember to come